long. Let's dive into it. We've got unbeaten Penn State taking on unbeaten Michigan. Both teams allow fewer than 15 points a game. Both are top 10 nationally in run defense. Something's got to give. Meanwhile, Utah takes on USC a week after losing to UCLA. Trojans looking to snap a 6-game losing streak against ranked teams tied for the longest in school history. And then the monster game in the SEC. Bama enters the week 15-0 under Nick Saban against Tennessee. Tennessee looking to start 6-0 for the first time since 1998. Oh, by the way, they won the national championship that year. Here are Heather and Paul to give us all of the insight. Guys, thanks as always for getting up. Heather, set the stage. We'll start with Alabama, Tennessee. What exactly is at stake in this battle?
Greeny, Tennessee has the best opportunity of any team in the country to impress the selection committee because they play Alabama and Georgia. They cannot go 0-2 in those games, but they can go 1-1. Here's why. If Tennessee can beat Alabama, but it loses to Georgia, Tennessee can have a win over the SEC champs without even playing in the SEC championship game. That's huge. If they lose this game to Alabama and beat Georgia to win the East, they could get another shot at the Tide in the SEC championship game. So this is a really remarkable opportunity. They just can't blow it.
And then let's talk about Bama here, Paul, and Bryce Young, the Bryce Young factor. It remains a question mark whether he'll be there. They just barely escaped a game against Texas A&M last weekend. Can they win this game if the Heisman Trophy winner doesn't play?
Alabama will lose this game if Bryce Young does not play. It's really that simple. They were ineffective. In fact, they were scary to watch Saturday night against Texas A&M, a team that they were a 3-touchdown favorite over, Greeny. So they need him desperately. I believe very strongly he will play. We don't know how effective he's going to be. The hostile environment, all that doesn't matter to Bryce Young. He's the best quarterback in the country. But I'm more concerned about other aspects of Alabama. They just look discombobulated. They're making so many penalties. They're making so many mistakes, special teams. This is not the best coach team I've seen of Nick Saban. He's not the favorite to win Coach of the Year right now, Greeny. And a win Saturday will help. But right now, this has been a rough road, even though they're still number 1 in some polls, number 2, and they're undefeated.
All right, so that is a huge game. Now we circle back to the one we talked about in the Big Ten. In this case, I will start with you, Paul. Michigan is a favorite at home against Penn State. Are we putting them on upset alert?
You have to. And Penn State's a little bit hard to wrap one's arms around. They have a huge road win at Auburn. Quite frankly, that's not really a big deal now that we've seen Auburn limp around for the last couple of weeks. But they're still alive, and this is a big moment for James Franklin. If he can win this game, he's got Ohio State later in the year at home, so the opportunities are there. I sense Michigan is going to pull this out, though, although they are not the most impressive undefeated number 4 ranked team in America.
Heather, is it a must-win for the Wolverines?
Not necessarily, because if they lose this game, technically they can still run the table, beat Ohio State, win the Big Ten, but they would need Penn State to lose twice, and I don't think that's going to happen. Penn State can certainly lose to Ohio State, but I think that's the only game left on their schedule past this one that they really have a chance to lose. So the one thing that everybody wants to avoid in the Big Ten is a 3-way tie between Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan with one loss in the East, because that gets into a tiebreaker scenario that will make everyone's head explode. So Michigan, bottom line, they're going to have to win this game in order to stay out of trouble and control their own destiny.
Super quick finishing here for both of you. Heather, starting with you. Ohio State has now become the betting favorite to win the national championship. If you had to pick the national champ right this minute, who would you say it's going to be?
Well, I'm glad Vegas and everybody else has finally joined the party, because I've been saying Ohio State since August. I'm sticking with it until they give me a reason not to.
How about you, Paul?
I'm staying in the SEC. I like Ohio State, and right now, Greeny, they are the best team. But I still got my eyes on Alabama and Georgia to get a lot better. So, Heather, you can have Ohio State. I'll see you in LA with the SEC teams.
Okay, what a stunner! Paul likes the SEC team. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.